Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is going to be a bonus reading for May for Virgo. I believe Virgo came up as as fourth in terms of views in April. And Virgo is now second, and instead of just, giving it the bonus to the astrological sign that got me over 30 views in the first 5 days, since Virgo was the second highest. I think it was like 22 views when I checked, somewhere between when I posted the May videos, which is 4 days before the beginning of the month, and like the second, I think it was 22. So definitely being second place, since I did 3 of them last month, I definitely wanted to give Virgo something. So I'm not doing the same bonus reading I did for Sagittarius. This is going to be a Yin-Yang Check-In. It's supposed to be for relationships, but it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be like twin flame because of yin and yang. It could be a relationship with yourself, or a platonic player in your life, non-playable character. It's one of my comparisons of opposites reading, the other one being the triptych door. So the way that this works is there's 3 cards from one deck, and then on the opposite side I'll get the bottom of the deck, and then vice versa. Because the decks are tall when they're all in, it gets kind of blocks the view in the camera. So I'm just going to flip it over, and I'm going to take the card out of the deck. And the same for this one. So the decks that I'm using are not the same size, which makes it look a little weird. Plus I had 2 come out in the challenge position, which makes it look a little bit nuts. But that's alright. So I have the Charlemagne, the Gilded Reverie Lenormand, and the Syrian Starseed Tarot. Mine is trimmed. Usually has a white border of like 3 to 4 millimeters on the outside. So I have trimmed mine. It's still a little bit too big to shuffle normally, but oh well. Really hard. Well, I can go through that when I do the deck review. It's a little bit hard to shuffle until it gets really worn in. So, do I want to turn over all the cards first? I think so, because I don't want this to be like a million years long reading. So it's a little bit weird to use a Lenormand with a normal deck, but I only have one Lenormand, and I haven't used either one of these decks that extensively lately. So here we are. Alright, so Virgo. Now I will point out that I have learned, since I recorded the other videos, that Jupiter is moving into Pisces, I believe around the 13th, somewhere in the mid-month region. So for the previous bonus reading for Sagittarius, that would be a huge situation deal kind of guy. But either way, having a fire sign move into the subconscious might light up those dreams a little bit harder than they've already been lit up. It's kind of like, well, I mean, Sagittarius rules the Temperance card, and having fire and water in the water sign together is kind of like throwing it into the Temperance angel that lives deep in the recesses of your subconscious. So we'll see how that comes out for Virgo. But let me flip these cards over so we can get a full spread here. What's interesting, well, God damn it. I'm trying to refrain from saying what's interesting, because I've noticed that I say that like 8 times during every reading. These cards are not as thick, but they're paper, and I think these are plastic. But they're both very shiny and slippery. Alright, so over here we have the 3 of Flames inverted, so 3 of Wands inverted. Show that. Oh, my battery's gone. I can't. My camera's slightly in a different place right now because I have my craft bucket out, so I thought I'd put it on top of there. Hopefully I'll know when the battery dies. So the Three of Wands is the Sun in Aries, but it's coming in inverted, which might be moon energy instead. We have the Ten of Flames. There's that Sagittarian energy. Saturn in Sagittarius. This is a burden. It's giving me this idea of it's been really difficult for Virgo having Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. This Virgo is actually an air sign. It's ruled by Mercury. This challenge card for this side of the equation is Strength. So this one has a tiger instead of a regular lion, and then we have this sensual feminine figure here as a wisp of smoke. And you just got this little bit of like, oh, it's going up in smoke kind of an idea. However, for Virgo, it could be Virgo. Strength card is normally Leo energy, but it's in a challenge position. It's like I'm trying to get data break on this situation. Wow, my throat chakra just tanked. Trying to gain the courage to speak up about something. I'm not getting what I want. Why is this so hard? Because this looks like a young feminine here too. That could be Virgo as well. I see 13 flames total, even though this one's inverted. It could be a subtraction. There could be 7 flames there. This idea of defense. I was going to say defensive. Defense. There's no gate in this hellhole. What was I going to say? I don't know. I feel like this represents the recent past. Okay. So this might be what's now or what's coming in. The opposite, well, let me flip these over first and then I'll get into it. So we do have the book here. The book opens up into whatever the mouth of the book is facing. So this is giving me this idea that the book is about strength. Strength is 8 or 11. I don't know what it... Hang on. Does it say? I don't think it says in this deck. Alright, well, oh, no, it's up here. It's 8. Okay. 2 and 6, 8 strength. High Priestess and the Lovers, so that would be healing, a choice, decision, discernment. Learning discernment is where the strength is going to be. 10 of Pentacles energy. Mercury and Virgo. Right? I've been having a hard time with discernment in the recent past with the planetary clusterfuck in Aquarius. And it's not necessarily because of the planetary alignments, it's because of the instability, lack of strength in the timelines themselves. Okay. So on this side, the part that's coming into what's probably the present from the past is this Seeker of Flames. This is the Page of Wands. There's a lot of fire here, so apparently this movement of Jupiter is quite affecting Virgo. But look what's going on here. I have this 11 and this 8 competing with each other. Right? What I want from that I'm bringing from the past into the future is I want to learn how to be the lion and the feminine at the same time, right? I want to be Sekhmet. I want to be myself and be embodying the strength at the same time. Was that? Huh, I didn't realize that was inverted, but it makes sense. So this is the mask inverted. It's 40. It's the energy of the Emperor and the energy of the Fool combined. This is sort of like the Emperor's new clothes, right? We're going to pants that mofo. Right? No more hiding, no more masks. No more pretending to be someone you're not. So we have the Messenger in a challenge position. What's that? The Bee Gees. Can I gotta get a message to you? Hey. One more hour and my life will be through. So we have a really important information coming in. The battery died right as the message was trying to come in, which is probably why it's in the challenge position. We have the number 1 here, which is like the Magician, and then we have a 9 of Cups. Jupiter in Pisces. Are you fucking kidding me? Right? Because during May, it's transitioning in there. So this rainbow is like riding the wheel. So it's sort of like the wheel is turning. The clock is ticking. We got Mariah Carey here on the carousel horse. Because she looks like Mariah Carey. I don't know why. Just Google that card to get as close up, you'll see. In the challenge position, but I see this 9 and the 1 here is trying to be a 10 to match these 10s over here. Trying to complete something. I'm at 10, 11. This could be a 1 too, so I could have 1, 1 here, which is also 11. There's an aspect of universal timing of numbers that keep trying to reduce back to having a 0 in them. This is like opening the floodgates on what's been stuck in the recesses of the subconscious. Right, all those fear monsters that thrive in the darkness. The sunlight's coming in and it, you know, they're just wisps of smoke with a mask on trying to terrorize you, and as soon as the daylight hits them, they disappear. So this is the cross, 36 breaking down to 9, with the 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands, Jupiter and Leo, usually a victory. But the cross is like, it's like the lodestone, the lead weight, the burden, the trouble to the left, trouble to the right kind of energy. This is explaining what is this burden. It's fucking like nailed to me, man. And that way I don't see it as I've lost. It's like, what have I lost? This albatross around my neck. When I'm looking for my own internal guidance. So what is the messenger? It's like your higher self is finally going to be able to come in. And Virgo has an interesting aspect because Virgo is the maiden, which is representative of the feminine side of the inner child. Mercurial energy, where the Fool is, that's more the masculine side of the inner child. And it doesn't have, I mean, Virgo doesn't have to be feminine, but it does really come in with that. The feminine energy is more, it's like I create through an intuitive, flowy process more than I create through a series of linear steps. That's really the only difference between masculine and feminine energy. What's going on here with Virgo is very similar to what's going on with Sagittarius's bonus reading. But it's being expressed in a different way. What is coming through with both of these is a lot of fire, a lot of wands, and those Leo energies flipping back and forth. There's no explicit moon here. And I think Sekhmet does have a sun disk on her head. But there's two cards with sun energy that are inverted. Now the moon is ruled traditionally by Pisces, which I don't agree with. But here it's like when it's not actually the moon, when it's the sun inverted indicating the moon, it takes on more of that Piscean nature of, you know, I'm having a nap attack. Or let me sleep on it. I was like saying a sentence in my head, and now I have to remember what it was. What Virgo is doing is overcoming this burden of this like funhouse mirror in their own head. Look at, there's the moon, the sun and the moon. There's a funhouse mirror in their head, right? The ego just puts on a different mask and comes in and like screams and cackles in your face. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to go into my inner temple and connect to my higher self, right? This isn't, I'm worshiping this goddess. It's, I'm connecting to my fire within, and this is how I see the core in my body. This is my inner strength. And it's like, it's not a mask, it's a full statue. Oh, I just heard the statue of limitations. Interesting. This does have sort of a law and order kind of a not procedural, but like books in a law office that have different codes in them. It's like DNA light code activation. I want to get another card to finish this reading for Virgo. I didn't want it to be that long, but there's something hanging in the air, and I think it's because this message isn't coming through like until like precisely one full day and night, right? One full moon cycle, one full sun cycle after Sagittarius moves into Pisces. So it's going to be like 2 more weeks before the message ends up being clear. But there's, oh wait, I read that as Pentacles, didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay. I did something weird for a second. 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups is like, I'm content. Right? I'm cheerful. Like this magical message or letter or something that's coming. It's like, I got accepted into this job or this university, or I won an inheritance or something. Something important in this letter, like, you know, somebody, you know, my person that I haven't seen in 6 months took it upon themselves to send me something in the mail. And then we have the 3 of Cups. The party all the time. Right? It's like, I want to be able to celebrate the good news. And I'm seeing this cross with Jesus on it. And it, I mean, the gospel is supposed to mean the good news. But I would not take that literally as a religious thing. I'm just saying this is good news. That is worthy of celebration. After the trials and tribulations, right? This is a trial. This was trials. To suffer the slings and arrows. Right? This is like, I'm not going to be in the dungeon anymore. It's very, it's like, it's sort of medieval, like draconic rulings, draconic law. a little bit crumbling of the patriarchy, but in the way that I'm seeing it is more of an internal strength way for Virgo in their own power. Right? It's like I'm not go. It's like I'm gonna. It's like I didn't know these tricks that you played. Reading between the lines were gonna screw me up now, but I've been wanting to get into my own power, and I'm gonna pull the the wool is coming fully off of my eyes, and I'm not going to settle for less than what resonates with my core. And this message, the universe is like, oh, you want to do that? Then we'll magician. You're ready to be in your own power. We'll throw in some cups to. It's like if you enter your own power, the happiness itself is going to follow, and that would be something to celebrate. And again, it might not be like everything is amazeballs. It might be like I'm finally content about something that's been really screwed up from this stuff that's been going on. Now, for Sagittarius, it was more of, my mind got messed with when I was little and I've been in trauma. This looks a lot like somebody sabotaged you, even though there's no physical anchoring. It's like something deliberately sabotaged me and put a weight on my shoulders. And like trounced off to a costume party. This is saying, just by claiming that I own my internal power gives me an 11 to overcome this 10 that was on this book that got thrown at me, this burden that got thrown at me. Just, like, you don't even have to be an expert at being in your own power. You just have to say, you know what, I want to do it. And it will come through, which will be worth celebrating. Okay. And this is Mercury in Cancer. Mercury's ruling Virgo, so that follows. This emotional expansion, right? I'm not just one cup, I'm 3 cups. I'm gaining access to the threefold goddess in my own level, right? Because Virgo isn't gonna be the Empress. She's gonna be frolicsome and playful. She's gonna take on this 3 in the cups and just be like, la la la, I'm having a good time now. I feel like I'm safe and in control of my environment. Like, I understand the rules of the game. Okay? Alright, that's it. If you want to get a personal reading, let me move my thing over to the side. See all the crap on my table. So I have multiple projects all the time. There we go. This thing is forever vexing me. Alright. If you want to get a personal reading, you can hit me up. thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. The complete list of readings I have and how much they cost is in the description box underneath here. I did put up a rudimentary website. I haven't had a standalone website in like, I want to say like 12 or 13 years. So it's CATtheMinion.wordpress.com. It's financially not at the level of getting a domain name or getting a fancier web designer. So it is what it is, but there's a page that has the readings on it also. So if you're inclined, you can check that out. It's just, a little bit fancier than the description box. But all this information is down there. I've got coloring books, merch prints, actual art items. There's a coupon code for Etsy there. Everything, including that coupon code, will pop through in the link tree, and you can get to the website from there too. All of these there too. If you want to donate energy exchange, hit that tip jar. It's PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. You can follow me on the social media situation there. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.